Hey guys, we're back with another video, and today we'll be ranking every EX as in how hype and how strong they were when they first released in One Piece Boundary Rush. Now I've been waiting a long time for my voice to get fixed so that I can sound better, and now I'm finally good. And we're gonna be making this video today. So, there's two rules. First rule, you don't have an opinion on this tier list. You can give me your opinions in the comment section below, wherever you feel like I am wrong. And second, I'll explain every character as to why I think they deserve that placement. And yeah, as you can see, there's hype and toxic being the best one, and lame and weak being the weakest. I do have some EX characters where I wasn't available during their prime. I mean, obviously I fought them after that, but yeah. So without further ado, let's begin. So Shanks, Blackbeard, I wasn't there. Neither was I there for the most expensive EX in the game. During these three EX's first appearance, I was not playing the game that much. I started playing right as EX Big Mom dropped on, I think, 1.5 anniversary. And for this Monkey D. Luffy, when he dropped, I was on a long break, so I didn't have any experience as to how good he was. So I would not be including this in the list, but do let me know in the comment section below, where do you guys think you should place these three EXs in this tier list. And yeah, so let's begin with the first EX that I was there during its prime, which I believe was EX Big Mom. I'll try going according wise to their releases, but if not, we'll just go random then. So I think she was very hype and very strong. She wasn't toxic. I mean, she was toxic, but she wasn't as toxic as some of these other future EXs ended up being. I think EX Big Mom was very hype. I remember being there at Roman Puss's stream when she was first revealed, and I was hyped, man. She was definitely hyped. I mean, most of the hype was also carried by Katakuri being released with her. So I think she was very hype, and I think she was very, very strong during her prime. So I'm gonna put her at this one. I think the next EX was Odin. Now, hear me out. He was very strong, but they released Odin before his backstory was even complete in the anime. So most people didn't bother summoning for him. And this is during his prime. Afterwards, obviously, people summoned for Odin. He was amazing because people knew about him. But during that time when he was first released, he was lame. I'm sorry. He was very strong, but he was lame, as in hype-wise. And then this guy was released, which was the most hypest character in One Piece Boundary Rush history, in my opinion. He extremely toxic, there was no other unit standing up to him. Everyone fell. Roger was very, very strong, and he's still strong. Don't get me wrong, I have him. He's still very strong. Not as strong as he used to be, but he's still very strong. And so I think during his prime, Roger was a hype and toxic unit at the same time. So yeah, man, that's the whole reason why I'm gonna place him there. Like, don't remember, this guy almost made me quit Boundary Rush. Like, I'm not even kidding. Next up we have is Akainu. Now, I can put him in hype and strong, but I think he was hype and toxic. I remember people going crazy when they saw that we were getting a Akainu EX in the game. Very toxic, the fact that you couldn't touch him when he activates one of his skills. I remember summoning for him. I got him in my account twice, actually. And yeah, he was extremely hype and extremely toxic during his prime. Also, the characters on the left are more hype and toxic in their prime compared to the characters on their right side in this tier list. So I believe Roger was more hype and toxic than Akainu was. Again, that's just my opinion. You guys let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, Akainu was an amazing, I mean, not an amazing, but a very toxic character. Like, he was melting a lot of defenders, I remember, and a lot of runners. Runners were struggling during Akainu's reign. Now, I believe the next EX that released during this time was Yamato. Yeah, Yamato was extremely hype, but was extremely weak. I feel like she was supposed to be a bounty first character, but they switched up in the end because they knew that Yamato was being hyped up in the anime. So they just made her EX instead. And you can tell by how she played when she first came out. I mean, I could put her in hype and strong or lame and strong, but I think she was hype, but she was very weak as a character overall. So that's why she's there. Next character that released was, in fact, there's so many ads here. I hope I can edit this one out in my post-production. So yeah, let's just wait for the ad to go. Anyways, now let's get back. What was the next EX? I think it was, yeah, it was Blue Kaido. Blue Kaido was extremely hype, more hype than Big Mom, I would say. But I think Big Mom coming with another character alongside her was more hype. So I would put Big Mom ahead. Kaido was very strong, but he wasn't toxic. I'm sorry, but Akainu Roger was pretty easily countering him. Like, he was very tanky, but I believe he wasn't as toxic as some of these other EXs are. Next up, I'm gonna put Zephyr, who I believe was very, very strong on its first release. And I remember that because I don't know what exactly it was, but I believe when Zephyr released, he was extremely hype and strong. But then while in his prime, Shanks also got released, who I believe is a better character than Zephyr, sadly. But I think Zephyr was extremely hype, but he wasn't as toxic as Film Red Shanks was during his prime. This character gave me nightmares, almost made me quit One Piece Bounty Rush, but still hanging on somehow. So, yeah. And next character I think that released after this was EX Big Mom. Yeah. Again, I might be wrong in some of these. So, EX Big Mom's second EX is extremely strong, but was very lame. People were not happy about EX Big Mom. Like, I get it, she's in a Yonko, but people were more like, they wanted more of like Kaido, Gear 5 Luffy, the Law, the Kid, Zoro. Like, they wanted that type of EXs for the anniversary, and them getting Big Mom, they weren't really that hype. Again, she was very strong, but I think in terms of hype, she was very lame. Again, I'm sorry if Big Mom is your favorite character, but you have to agree, during their prime, EX Big Mom wasn't really that much hype. Now, Kaido, people will hate me for saying this, and I don't care. I have to put them here. EX Green Kaido was extremely hype, but as a character was very weak. At least he was better than Red Yamato, but I believe EX Hybrid Kaido, come on, please. He was a glass cannon. I get it. You could easily capture flags and KO opponents easily, but he was getting one-shotted by a lot of EXs. I'm sorry, guys. I love EX Hybrid Kaido. I'm not even kidding. I wanted this character so much. I spent 900 gems to get him. Didn't get him, which was the most saddest fact. I think he was very weak in compared to how the original EXs were, but he was very hype, in fact. And then we had this guy. I can put Onigashima Zoro in toxic, and I really want to, but I think, I don't know, I might change my mind. For now, I guess I can keep him here. But he was toxic in the sense, like, he was just overall very, very strong. There wasn't any toxic trait about him. Yeah, of course, he was a little annoying to deal with, but in comparison to these other EXs, I think he was hype as fuck. Like, I remember people saying, oh my god, let's go, Onigashima Zoro EX is the best. Like, he was hype, but overall in toxicity, I think he wasn't as toxic as all of these other EXs ahead of him. I don't even feel like talking about Blue Yamato, man. They had a very good opportunity to make her better, but she was just lame and weak. I think this was also around the time that Yamato hype was declining, and people really didn't summon for this unit because they knew that there was going to be a better EXs coming during this time slot because of the previous example of EX Film Red Shanks. So people weren't summoning for him. She wasn't hype. She was very weak. Onigashima Zero clapped her, and yeah, I think she is the most lamest and weakest EX from this, I think. But we'll come around and see what I feel about it at the end of the video. Now, moving forward, the next EX we got. Oh boy, this is gonna cause another controversy, isn't it? Yes, I believe Ace and Yamato were very hype, but not as strong as other units in the game. I'm sorry, guys. I'm extremely sorry, but no, Ace and Yamato were not that strong on their first release. I'm sorry. They were good, very hype, but they were not strong. They were decent at best. So because of that, I have to put them in hype and weak. They were hype. I love Ace. I have a boost 3 Ace and Marco, but I'm sorry, but Ace and Yamato is just not. In comparison to all of these other EXs above him, no. During their prime, no. I'm sorry. Claw, I think, was very hype and very, very strong. I remember using Kid more than Law because I feel like Kid's skills were more useful. But I could be wrong. I think Laws were useful as well, but not as useful as Kid's. I really, really love this unit. They were the first unit I genuinely thought were not as toxic being an EX. I think they were, if I had to give an award to the most balanced EX, I would give Claw that award. I think they were very, very balanced. Again, people might have different experiences, but from what I can tell, I think they were very balanced. Talking about which character was not balanced was this green Gear 5 Luffy. Oh my god, I think this unit is the most toxic and hype unit in the game. Hype in the sense there's nothing more hype than Gear 5 Luffy. I'm sorry. I saw a lot of YouTubers summoning for just to get this character, even though they didn't play One Piece Bounty Rush at the time. I believe this was the most hype character in the game's history. I believe so. Yeah, 100%. He is the most hype character, and he was so toxic, being able to go all 3 classes, having a counter on his normal tags. Like, I hate this unit so much, but I have to keep him here. So, yeah, there's Gear 5 Luffy. Extremely hype, extremely toxic. And let's go on to the let's see, what was the next unit? I forget. I'm just gonna go with who should I pick? Let's go with Light Element Shanks. Light Element Shanks was also extremely hype and extremely toxic. It was just flashbacks of Film Red Shanks, but not as strong as the Film Red Shanks prime, I guess. Because Light Shanks, even though he was extremely strong, he still had some counters. And he was very tough to fight. He still is very, very good. I have him max. I summoned for him. I remember how good he was during his prime. Because of that, I have to put him in hype and toxic. Again, Shanks just is hype. Everyone loves Shanks, so he's always going to be hype. And because of that, I think he deserves to be in that tier list. So, oh my god, I wish I could put this unit in the hype and toxic, because I believe this is the most hypest EX who ended up being weak. I think this was a really big disappointment for me when I saw this, but EX Whitebeard, I'm sorry, man, but I feel bad for what happened to him. And I hope Bounty Rush can buff him soon. EX Goldie Roger V2. Oh my god, don't even get me started. This unit. Oh, he's not as toxic as V1 Roger, but he was extremely toxic, extremely high. People were expecting Blackbeard in this spot, by the way, but they ended up getting Roger, and they were more hype somehow. that they were like, yes, new Roger, let's go, even though his skills were used. So I think because of that, he wasn't as hype as the first time Roger dropped, and I think he was not as hype as Filmer Shanks, so I'm gonna put him right there. Again, all the characters in the hype toxic are determined by, like, they are all toxic, but I have ranked them as how hype they were. And speaking about hype, I think we should talk about S-Snake. I think she was extremely lame, but her character, like how good she was extremely annoying and toxic, but she was a lame, as in hype wise. I think she wasn't, nobody wanted EX S-Snake. We got it. I actually think she's the best defender in the game. For me, I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. I love the way S-Snake plays. Yeah, sorry guys, I had to stop that one for a second. I had to eat my dog. Pause. Anyway, so here we are, and I think I was talking about S-Snake. Yeah, S-Snake, I love her character's playstyle, but as hype as she was never hype. I'm sorry, she was lame. Rob Lucci, on the other hand, I can put him in hype and toxic. I think I might, but I think he wasn't as hype as all of these other characters. He was hype, but I don't think he broke any records or, was that impressive. Again, he is an amazing character. He's toxic for sure, but I believe he wasn't like, I want to put him in hype and strong, but I think I'm gonna, for now, put him in hype and toxic. I might change my mind later on, but I believe for now, you know what? No, I'm gonna put him in hype and strong. I believe he was very, very strong. I still think he's very hype. I think he was more hype than Zephyr and Law. Might be coping here, but yeah, like he had a lot of counters already in the game, so I don't think he was that impressive when he first dropped in his prime. Again, I have this character, so I know how good he was. Moving on, we have the 2025s, I think. Oh, Garp. Oh my, don't even talk to me about how toxic Garp was, man. During his prime, again, Garp broke the servers. I'm not even joking. The servers were down because of Garp. I think he was extremely hype. As for Kuzan, he was hype, but I don't think he matched Garp's aura. If you get what I mean. I believe Garp was more hype and toxic than Kuzan was. Again, all the characters in hype and toxic were toxic, and they're just ranked as on how hype they were, while the other tiers tell how strong a character was from left to right. And EX Sabo, I really want to put him in lame and hype and weak. I think I will. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Sabo was hype, but I don't think he matched Garp's and Kuzan's aura. Like, in his prime, Garp and Kuzan were fresh still, and I think he got very underwhelmed by because of that. I believe Sabo is very, very hype, but I don't think he is that strong during his prime in comparison to all these hype/strong characters and hype/toxic characters during their prime, obviously. Right now, I think he's a lot better than a lot of these EXs. I might as well make a whole ass tier for how toxic Kizaru was. I mean, this upper tier list isn't based on how toxic the units were. It's based on more like how hype they were. And I believe Kizaru was more hype than Kuzan, Akainu, and Onigashima Zoro. I was really, really hype for Kizaru. Like, he has aura, man. Like, he is amazing in terms of hype. We don't talk about the toxicity part. He's the most toxic unit in the game, hands down. There's nothing more toxic as Kizaru. So I think Kizaru is perfectly here. I think all these units ahead of him, Shanks, Roger, Garp, Luffy, were more hype than he was. Gear 5 Luffy V2. As much as I want to put him as the most hype character in the game on his release, I think Gear 5 V1 might just be slightly better. I think this might be a hot take, but I think Roger And I think Roger was more hype than Gear 5 V2. Like, first time Roger dropped, I think he was more hype than Gear 5 V2. Again, I think Garp even, yeah. You know what, I think people were more excited about the first time Gear 5 dropped than the second time. The second time he was like, yeah, he's amazing, yeah. But I think the hype-wise, I think Gear 5 V1, Garp, Roger, Shanks, the first time these units got EXs were way more hype than their second turns. Saturn, I believe, was lame. Nobody was summoning for him. But he was extremely strong, despite being a lame EX. He didn't have that much aura, because people knew during that in the manga, Saturn got bitch slapped by Luffy the entire time. So people weren't really that hyped for him, sadly. So because of that, again, he's extremely strong, but I believe he's just not hype enough. And as for Law, I believe he's extremely hype and strong, but I don't see him being toxic. Like, I think Law, sadly, was not that high. People I saw were just saying that they want to skip Law because BBV2 is dropping. And because of that, people didn't really summon for him. He's extremely strong, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's toxic or hype enough to be better than these other EXs during their prime. Again, this ranking for hype and toxic is ranked like... Okay, am I getting this confused? So I'll just straighten them up. I think all these other categories are ranked from left to right in terms of how hype and strong they were, while the number one category, hype/toxic, is ranked from just how hype they were during their first releases. Because I believe all of these EXs were toxic as hell. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, man, because we're really close to hitting 200 subs.